Welcome to the Cause Effect, with your host, Carl Kozlowski, and his team of correspondents, bringing you the world's bad news badly. And now, Carl Kozlowski. Welcome to the Cause Effect, with your host, Carl Kozlowski. And I love my name so much, I have it said twice. So, welcome to the Cause Effect, and this week we are back with the world's weirdest, baddest news, bringing it to you in a funny style. And we've got an awesome show for you. First up, we have phoning in later this evening at about 8:25. We've got the illustrious Jimmy Dore. He of the two-time Comedy Central solo specials, and also a host of a national syndicated radio show, The Jimmy Dore Show. And with us live in the studio right now is two of our regular panelists. We have Cordell, the Joker Pace.
Hello.
And then we have Scott Sycamore.
What's up, Carl, you bad mother? Shut your mouth.
And then joining us for the first time, we'll let her, she may or may not be taking swings on all the topics, but hopefully she'll come out swinging. We welcome Melody Gonzalez.
Hello.
All right, so folks, it's been a crazy week. Usually I'm not big on the sports news, but as Cordell spoke with me before the show, both these initial stories have leaped far beyond sports into the general pop culture realm. We've got two crazy lying stories this week. First off, Lance Armstrong confessing to Oprah Winfrey. So, what do you guys think of the confession? Basically, he came onto Oprah's show and on her new network, and it's like, if anybody knows anything, you should never put yourself one-on-one with Oprah angry at you after what she did to a writer named James Fry a few years back when he admitted lying about his memoirs.
A million little pieces he was shattered into.
I know, by her. I mean, that was the name of his book, and she left him in that. I mean, my God, I'm Catholic, and like Oprah scares me more than any priest I've ever been to confession to. So, he basically made her...
She's a beast.
I know, yeah. Well, she basically made him confess that he took steroids, all sorts of doping drugs, forced his teammates to indulge in it, and the lies just get bigger, and the consequences are huge. He's losing they believe he'll lose $75 million worth of sponsorships. He could possibly be sued for libel. He could be charged for perjury. It's amazing. So, Cordell, what do you think?
Well, they're saying that the word is that he wants to get back into competitive racing, not cycling, but he wants to get into the like the triathlon and events like that, and he wants to do it on the above the bar. So he wants to do it where it's competitive on the in terms of the league racing. I mean league competitiveness. So there's only one way to do that is clear his name. So at some point that's why he kind of came forward. So it's all about him trying to selfishly again, like he was when he was doping and ruining people's lives and telling them if you come out and say anything against me, I will shatter your life and you'll never work again. Which he did that to quite a number of people.
Wow.
And so now he wants to confess so he could therefore maybe a year or so down the road compete competitively into the triathlons and decathlons and things like that. So I mean, he's a weak bastard, and I don't feel sorry for him at all. He lost everything, and he hopefully he'll continue to do that, and hopefully people can sue him and get some type of retribution back.
I heard he's eligible for unicycling tournaments.
Yeah.
I always hated Lance, by the way, just throwing that out there. I thought he was a false idol from the beginning. People worship this guy, especially back in whenever, in his heyday,
right,
early 2000s or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a cyclist, and then he's doing all this, cancer work and charity work, which is good, but then they turn it into like this hip, trendy, wear a yellow thing around your wrist thing. Like, oh God, so annoying. So everything about it has been annoying from the beginning, and now it's just I didn't expect this level of retribution though. It's like a Tarantino film.
It's like behold the wrath of Oprah. Any opinion, Melody, or did you ever follow this stuff?
Lightly, but I actually don't mind that there was that he did so much stuff with cancer.
No, that's not the bad part.
Oh no, we're talking about that's the one good thing about him.
Yeah, it's just
right. I'm just saying I feel bad how he let him, like, why would he go into doping? Like, if he would have been just fine.
He had to.
Oh, he had to.
Well,
I mean, you don't think he had the chops on his own?
He said, if you listen to that yes/no part of the interview right in the beginning, she asked him, "Is it humanly possible to do what you did? In your opinion?" He says, "No." So
7 straight.
That's from the.
Yeah.
It's impossible to do 7 straight.
That's from the roided horse's mouth. So
clean, so to speak. Doing it clean.
He said
is tough.
it's not possible, which sort of, people could have picked up on that at the time, but they didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, these are performance-enhancing drugs. They're not just performance-enhancing; they're everything-enhancing. Like, they enhance your entire life. They enhance your mind. They enhance your intelligence. Like
They
everything. Sure, why? Like, it's your brain. I mean, you can think clearly.
Well, if he thought clearly, he wouldn't be such a liar and doing all these horrible things to people.
No, because he did it on purpose. I mean, he was thinking of keeping his brand, his yellow brand around your wrist, alive, and that's just what he's a classic, narcissistic alpha male douchebag.
Sounds like that movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper also.
Sure.
Right.
Where he takes the pill and he's like super powered and smart.
He licks the blood off the floor to get it from a bleed. Yeah, no, but it is, I mean, there may be drugs like that. We don't know. I think in the film, people died after they took it. Like, they got super smart and then they eventually deteriorated and not off themselves, but got, withered away. But I mean, it's just like steroids. When you go off them, your nuts shrink and they have bad effects. And
he lost a ball. I wonder if that
he lost
had anything to do with
it.
it.
As his ball gets bigger and bigger, his reputation gets smaller and smaller.
Well, it's appropriate that he's doing unicycling, 1 tire with 1 ball. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly. No, actually, I meant to say his ball gets smaller and smaller because that's what actually happens on the roids. But he also has huge balls in the sense of lying and just all this. The real problem is the court case stuff, right? Because that's the real, like, we're getting into perjury and breaking the law and accusing other people of perjury.
One thing that, with I don't know, Melody as a fellow Catholic, what I was waiting for is, like, when you go to Oprah and you confess this kind of stuff, you don't get off lightly. It's no 10 Hail Marys. You're, like, embarrassed in front of the whole planet. Pretty bad, huh?
Right. My only look and opinion to this is the same thing that I was talking to one of my coworkers. We have the news on.
Yeah.
All the time, and so we're looking at this during lunch, and she's telling me how bad she feels. He comes out, and so there's a bigger consequence that when you do these things, there's a huge consequence because you don't just affect yourself and the few people around you, meaning like your friends, your family, and all your colleagues, but the whole world that he lied to. There was true people out there that were really fighting and that were like, yes, Armstrong, you're my idol. I look up to you. I want to fight. I want to be better. I want to be like you. But you lied. Yeah. You lied, and so they're so heartbroken. And she was telling me how heartbroken she was.
Yeah, my Jewish mother is one of those people. She's like, I'm sick about this. Because there's a lot of emotional investment in. I mean, so many people got into cycling because of this guy and focused on all this stuff, whatever, brought attention to the disease stuff, which is good. But there's a lot of real life, real shit wrapped up in all this.
And he was so adamant, and he was so adamant in denying it. That's what makes it worse too. All those years just saying no, just like Marion Jones in track and field when she was eventually confessed to Oprah.
She went to jail, right?
She went to jail, yeah. She confessed to doing steroids too. But they both were adamant, having press conferences and having their lawyers say stuff like, I would never do this. Yeah. How you dare you question me? I am Superman. Don't do that. I'm Batman. No, he didn't say all that, but he's like, I would never do anything. I'm Wonder Woman in a dress. No, okay.
All I'm saying is that if Oprah should be in that movie Zero Dark 30, because if she was in charge of interrogating the terrorists, it wouldn't take 10 years to find Bin Laden, man. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, no, she was on their side. And also,
on
Oprah,
whose side? The terrorists? No.
Yeah, she's on the terrorist side. No, she's on Lance Armstrong's side. I mean, she treated him with kid gloves. And by the way, in the movie Zero Dark 30, they buy a guy a Lamborghini, and that's how they get Bin Laden.
Well, that's
and
true.
Oprah would just give him one. You get a car. You get a car. Bin Laden's courier gets a car. Yeah. So she could have done it quicker.
Then you pay the tax. No. Oh,
She was tough, but she's not tougher than Barbara Walters though. Barbara Babs gets at you.
Whoa,
she comes Babs. She.
Barbara Walters, what kind of tree would you be?
You know what? She just interviewed the Jersey governor, Chris Christie, about a month ago.
Fat McFatty.
And she calls him. She said, "Well, this is the big elephant in the room, so to speak. You're fat." He was like, "Yes. why are you fat? Basically, that's what she said. Why are you fat?
Yeah.
Why do you have
It's
a
like-
lisp, Barbara? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like my
exactly.
friend who has money, and he's like, "Why are people so broke? Like, what is it? They can't get money in their pocket." It's like, why? Yeah, I don't get it. I'm not fat. Why are you fat?
Nobody comes tougher than Babs when it comes to questions. But Oprah was okay. But she, like you said, she was a little. She could have followed up with some stuff that she didn't. You know,
I say Oprah for the Supreme Court next.
Yeah, Oprah's not
Why
exactly Billo or any of these, attack interviewers. I mean, she's like, let's sit down. I'll wear a pantsuit. You'll put on a nice jacket. Yes or no? To answer me, yes or no. Da, 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 da. You got to give it to people, and it's the softest manner possible.
No, but it's the fact that she just like it's like she's like slowly grabbing him by his ball.
By his ball.
By the one
Exactly.
ball. And it's just like
By his hairless
"Sneeze,"
ball.
And she's totally like
Like grape.
right.
and she's like totally like, just getting the answers out subtly. And that's the thing. It's so
Right.
it's like you will tell me what's going on.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, that was
yeah.
part of the
Nobody else
contract. That was part of the contract when they set up the interview that she could grab his one ball. So it was not sexually though.
So what do you think ultimately happens? Is the dude gonna get sued like crazy or?
Of course. Will he get
Jail?
convicted of anything? I couldn't say, but certainly people will hit back.
Yeah, they're gonna come after his money. I mean, he won't have anybody into this all of this, but they're gonna come after what they can get because their sponsors have all backed off. Nike, Livestrong,
Well, he's
and
already been
everybody
making
else.
tens of millions for years.
Yeah,
so
he
he's
should.
set.
If he did some Romney shit and put it offshore and everything, sure, he could always have a huge chunk of change. But court cases. I don't know. He could always just cycle away to Mexico or something and just chill out and not deal with any of it.
Right.
He certainly got the distance. Well, maybe not anymore. But yeah, it goes in. You know the guy who gave everyone steroids, like in baseball, this guy Victor Conti, and now he's out there exposing the trade or whatever. He's like, oh yeah, all these guys use stuff. Yeah, because you gave it to him. Schmuck face.
You were part of it. I'm sure that's part of his deal with the government to we'll let you off a little bit if you reveal some names.
Yeah, Lance has protection, yo.
Yeah.
I'm
So
telling you
did
that.
Lance not know this bad of a consequence going into this? I mean, it doesn't.
when
it's so not worth it.
Or was he
so
just
not
above
worth
it?
When you're selfish or whatever, whatever's going on,
Egomaniac.
in his brain, egomania, megalomania, you don't think about that. You're thinking about yourself, and even if you are this representative for the world or whatever, you're just not. You might think you're thinking about people, but no,
Even
it's
his
really
wife,
about you.
he left his wife after she went through all of that with him with the cancer. She left him,
And then she-
left her with the kids.
No, but is this Cheryl Crow?
No,
Well, this- this-
no, he
wife.
left her for Cheryl
For
Crow.
Or
Cheryl
Cheryl
Crow.
Crow, and then he left her, right?
Yeah, he left her, and I'm not sure if she adopted
No,
her
but-
kid or if he got her pregnant and then dumped her. I mean, it was pretty bad.
but wasn't
It
she-
was
Not
enough for-
pregnant. No,
it
she
was
had
enough for-
cancer.
Yeah, wasn't
Oh,
she going
yeah.
through cancer as well? And then
Yeah.
Newt
They
Gingrich
fell in love
style.
because
Right.
of that.
Yeah,
Left
right.
her.
She
Yeah.
said I had breast cancer, and he said, okay, and
Yeah.
I'm going to get some milk, and
I'm
he
out.
never came back.
Oh, that's what it was. I thought
Well,
they
he just
fell in love.
it was milk or cigarettes, something
No,
like
but
that.
what I
No,
mean
no,
is, he
Not
left her.
cigarettes.
He left her when
No,
she
he had
got
to go
cancer.
get his
Some,
doping
yeah.
drugs.
Well, her-
Shortly after she was diagnosed, I mean, it was something.
Right.
Yeah, shortly after she was
Well, of
diagnosed.
course, her
was it?
breast. Sorry.
That he had to go get his doping drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, her breast could no longer give milk,
Right.
And so he had to go get it, and so but
Exactly.
because of all this
2%,
disease.
2%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's more healthier if you go 2%. But
So that's what happened. He pulled a Gingrich. He's the skinny Newt Gingrich.
He is.
We've established that.
yeah, what is Newt doing right now?
Yeah, let's look at. Where's the Newt cam? Bring it up on your computer.
I don't know, but you know what? I stole. I went to an event where he was talking a couple of years ago, and I stole the sign for his chair off the back of his chair, and I have it taped to my desk at work now. My chair says Mr. Gingrich, so I'm like the villain of The Office.
That's bad luck.
I know, and it probably is. That's why. That's what you get for working.
Might
at
as
my
well
company.
say the Penguin or something.
Yeah.
I know. So we'll jump in real quick on one other thing. Any minute now, Jimmy should be calling. But how about this Manti Te'o story? The linebacker from Notre Dame who was claiming that he had a girlfriend with dying of cancer, but it was like a Facebook relationship or something. And, it's just, it turned out to be a big hoax. And some people are saying he didn't know. Some people say he did know about that he was in on the hoax. I don't know what's been proven. Oh, here comes Jimmy. Hang on.
Can I interject?
We'll get back to that in a minute. Hey,
Hold it
ladies
in
and gentlemen, is this Jimmy Dore?
This is Jimmy Dore. How are you?
All right. So, Jimmy, thanks for calling in. We'll get back to Manti Te'o, guys, in a few minutes, or Manti Te'o. But this week, what Jimmy wanted to talk about is the President Obama's 23 executive orders for combating guns that he came out with a policy. And first of all, the executive orders mean these absolutely are in place, or does Congress have any say in stopping or adding or aiding it, or what? Because I've heard people say, I hope Congress goes along with it. I'm like, I don't think that's up to Congress. I think it means this is the law of the land, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are certain things he can do as the chief executive, and there's other things he needs the Congress to pass, like the magazine clips to get those lowered, to ban the assault weapons. That stuff he needs Congress to do, I think it'll never happen, which I would think it's a big mistake for Obama to stick his neck out like this, and we'll risk all this political capital on legislation that isn't going to get passed.
Wait, but you were saying that it doesn't require passage, or does it? I'm sorry.
He has some executive orders that don't require passage.
Okay.
But the big stuff does require passage.
Oh, it does. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was just flat out that presidents can just go, ta-da! Here's a law.
It's the order. That's their orders.
They have to get Congress to pass a law to ban assault weapons and to ban the high capacity clips, like they did before. In '93 they did, or '94 they did it, and but then that ban expired, which it wasn't forever. Which I don't know why they just don't make them forever, but it expired. So that's.
I know it's always these 10-year. They always put like 10-year limits on these laws of the bans on guns, and it's like, what do you think is going to happen in 10 years? We're not going to have more guns on the streets after all? Or there's something going to be safe?
It's back to the milk again. There's an expiration date.
Yeah,
on everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, go ahead. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, no, I don't. I really don't think it. I think it's dumb for Barack Obama to pursue this, and because I think he's. You know what I would like to see? You know what, he gave this big badass speech talking all tough about we have to do something now, and it's like it would be nice if he stood up to the banks like that. You know, it would be nice if he risked his neck politically to break up the banks, which everyone knows needs to happen, but he won't do.
Selective badassery.
Well,
yes, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, right now, it is important. I wish he would do something about banks, but even as a Republican, I realize there's got to be things that's got to be done about banks. But I'm surprised that you, as a diehard liberal, and I don't know if you would classify yourself as Democrat or just flat out being a progressive, but I'm surprised that you're saying that he's got the wrong focus here. I would think you'd be cheerleading every step of the way here.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not. I'm not a Democrat. I am a progressive, but I'm not. I certainly don't consider myself a Democrat. I think both parties are corrupted by big money.
Yeah. Well, there's the bank problem then, right?
Yes, there's the bank problem right there, and the military-industrial complex problem, and the whole thing. So, no, I think it's, first of all, the Sandy Hook shooting is tragic as it was. You know, what we're trying to do is that's still a very rare event, and to legislate to try to prevent rare events, it's really hard to do. So, I understand we have gun violence, but we're not going to do anything. I don't think that's going to make a big difference. And I don't think even if it gets, I don't think it will get passed. That's my whole thing, Carl. I think that because it's got to come out of a Republican committee in Congress. And I think that it never will. So Barack Obama is going to stick his neck out, risk all this political capital, and nothing's going to happen anyway. That's my prediction anyway.
Wow. Well, but as far as with these laws, having a strike on them, I think that we're saying that you're trying to legislate something from happening that's a rare occurrence. Pierce Morgan, who's getting himself in the middle of a lot of problems because he said that we need to either get rid of the Second Amendment or make very drastic measures to outlaw guns, and then people try to do a petition to the White House to get him evicted, which is ridiculous, to get him thrown out of the country. But Pierce, on one of his debates that I saw, they put the stat out there that there's been 900 Americans killed by guns since Sandy Hook. It's barely been a month and 900 more dead. And so it's an
everyday thing.
It's an everyday thing, yeah. As far as the dribs and drabs,
Carl, the big problem with guns, I think, are handguns. And if you remember, they were actually talking about banning handguns in the 70s. I don't know if you're old enough. I'm not actually old enough to remember that either, but I've read about that. They were actually talking about banning handguns in the 70s, and that never happened. And now it's swung totally the other way. And you're right. Yes, there's a lot. By the way, did you know that not only is there a petition to get Piers Morgan kicked out of the country, the English also have a petition to keep him out of England. So
I bet, yeah.
Not a very popular guy.
Yeah. Algeria, take him.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Already gone.
Yeah.
Hey, can I just make a point about the NRA commercial where they were talking about Obama's kids?
I know, that was a nice one, wasn't it?
Well, they were talking about how, Obama protects kids, but he doesn't want your kids to have protection because they have Secret Service, and he doesn't want you to have protection for your kids at schools. And let me just say that, if murdering or kidnapping your kid ever became a likelihood which would compromise the entire national security of our country, then we'll talk about it. But until then, the only thing that your kid needs to worry about is a paranoid parent who's armed to the teeth.
Well, yeah, as long as most kids in America are running around looking like Honey Boo Boo, I don't think they have any right to the same claims as the president's daughters.
We need a gangster squad. That's what we need.
Yeah.
For all the kids out there. Clean them up.
Gangster squad.
Yeah.
That's even...
Carl, are you a member of the NRA?
Hell no.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
No. I mean, I'm not. I'm shocked. I kind of agree with what you're saying. I never imagined that such a day would pass to me. But I'm kidding, sort of. But I think you're actually pretty reasonable a lot of times. But the thing is, I think what you're saying about going so far out. And thinking that you can really make a change when there's already 300 million guns out there is kind of a foolish notion. I don't really blame Obama. I think that the public's demanding this kind of thing, and I think his rules were pretty reasonable. I was kind of shocked. I really thought it would be a lot more extreme than it was. So I don't know. It's a shame if the Republicans can't get behind the idea that oh my God, you're limited to 10 bullets at a time. I mean, that's common sense, I think. I think that I would like to think that they would realize, the madness has got to stop somewhere.
Well, don't you think it's kind of what's amazing to me is the NRA gets so much power in this political discourse when they have Wayne LaPierre as their spokesperson. It's like they got Wayne LaPierre, Ted Nugent, and Alex Jones. What was the cast of Cuckoo's Nest not available to speak for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, Wayne LaPierre, he needs to worry about getting a better haircut before he starts, declaring anything else on people's lives, But I think he should shoot his barber is what he needs to do.
Well, what do you think about this argument? People go, well, you can't stop mental people from wanting to kill people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't stop, try to restrict their access to firearms,
Yeah.
And I think this whole idea of putting cops in schools, I'm against this whole idea. Barack Obama's for it. Huh. And I'm against it because this has already happened in some school districts. They put cops in there, and all it does is criminalize normal child's behavior. They find out that arrests go up in schools like 6 times. Kids get cuffed and arrested for disorderly conduct all the time. So all it does is start to criminalize, it makes a police state inside of your own high school. Of course, this idea of we're going to help the kids. Nah, by making it a police state doesn't help. It's that same thing with the TSA. We're here to make you safe. You know what? I think you're not really making me any safer. You're just really trampling my rights.
Jimmy, you libertarian, you. What happened?
And what about just a couple weeks ago, that the shooting at the high school in California where the cop that was on duty was snowed in, and he couldn't make it that day. And then that's the day the guy walks in and shoots a student.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was. Did you hear about that, Jimmy? That was like up north somewhere in California. It was.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
but that sounds like it sounds very plausible.
So the guy that was on duty to be the cop was snowed in, and he called in because it's how crazy that is that we have somebody to protect, but he's out for the day. He has a cold, he has a flu. All right, well that's the day I'll go in and shoot everybody. The day that the on-site cop is at home, with NyQuil.
Well,
Well, didn't Columbine, they had armed guards at that school.
They did?
Haven't they had metal detectors for years at schools as well? I mean, this has been a thing for
I remember seeing
in Detroit they've had them.
They have metal detectors in Detroit?
Oh, yeah, since the early 90s.
all over the place.
But that's Detroit, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's Detroit. It's Detroit.
That's gangsta.
Detroit's like RoboCop world.
Right, I mean,
literally now.
Right, I mean, metal detectors is just the beginning to get into a school in Detroit. Then you got to go through,
then
the
you
army.
gotta fight your way in.
You got to go through an 8-mile of metal detector.
Stab your way into English class. But it's normal. You get used to it after a while. Your wrist gets real strong.
So
it's
all in the wrist.
So what? Do you guys have any ideas on how to really stop gun violence?
You know what I think learn how to aim better. No, to take the bad guys out. No, I think the most important thing is I think most people are pretty responsible with their guns. I think it's mainly I think the real issue is the mental health issue, and I'm glad that Obama is addressing that as part of this proposals. And I think that the more we can deal with destigmatizing
fucked up
mental
people.
health. Thank you for that eloquent paraphrase.
That's what.
But as long as we can destigmatize these things and make it give the police or somehow get more ability to control what those people's access to guns are, and get better treatment out there for people. I think that and maybe educating people about. Like I said, part of the destigmatization, that to treat people with a little more respect so they don't get angry and frustrated with their lives.
We have sex ed in school, now gun ed is coming.
I do think it's a big canard when they talk about video games causing violence because, they've done studies.
Yes.
And it seems that, the societies that have the highest rate of usage of violent video games has the lowest rate of gun violence. So
total
people get their yayas out playing the game, probably, right?
Maybe they get. Maybe it's like. It's like that thing with the pornography and rape. I don't think they're connected. I think pornography is a sexual release. It doesn't make you maybe the violent video games are a release. It makes you not want to kill someone.
I got a little factoid, as Alex Jones would call it. A friend from Australia got in recently. I saw him, and he said he pointed out from 86 to 96. There was 18 mass shootings in Australia. Then they banned, assault weapons. 0 since then. 0.
Really?
So and this is an Australian, so I take him at his word for now. So since 96, I believe, nothing. And, it's still a rough place out there. There's all kinds of crime and gang stuff, whatever. But
you're saying they have no murders in Australia?
No mass shootings. No shootings of more than 4 people. From 86 to 96, they had 18. Wow. Since then, 0 when they took the guns. So
hey, what about, do you know what we should, maybe we should have looked up this stat, but when we had an assault weapons ban here in America starting in 1994 that expired, I think, in 2005. What was our statistics on that? Did our mass shootings go down or up? Or I would like to see that.
That'd be a good point. It would probably take me longer to concentrate on that.
Sounds like it takes research or something. That's
I know.
work.
God forbid it. I'm just trying to get some yucks out of this stuff, man.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to laugh around.
No, it is a good point. Somebody needs to look that up. Listeners, look it up.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, by the way, can I give you? There was a big study that came out, I think maybe 2 weeks ago now, that they've correlated lead in the gasoline with violent crime rates.
What?
And as soon as they've done a correlation that when America got rid of the lead in their gas, 20 years later, violent crime went down, like an exact correlation to how much lead went out of the air somehow. And now they're finding the same thing happening in Europe because I guess they were later to get the lead out of their gas than we were, which sounds surprising.
Get the lead out. Led Zeppelin.
Doesn't lead just fucking kill you? Sorry.
So if you get lead, like, as a kid, if you get lead in the paint and you ingest it, it screws up your brain formation. So we know that has deleterious effects on your brain, lead.
Yeah, I shouldn't have eaten those paint chips as a kid.
Yeah, did you eat a lot of paint chips as a child?
Yeah.
Carl?
It really, really paid off well. So, any other final thoughts, Jimmy? Because, we appreciate you phoning in, but anything else you want to say about the issue before you sign out?
Hey, can I just say that I know we didn't talk about Lance Armstrong, but...
Oh, we did at the beginning, but go ahead.
I just thought it was people were like, Oprah's not the person to talk to him because she's never been on steroids. I'm like, not only has Oprah never been on steroids, she's never been on Stedman.
Oh, man, ow.
No way.
Yeah, a little Gail King action there, I think. More.
I thought I'd leave you with a little Oprah joke. Thanks for having me on, Carl. It was a blast.
Hey, nothing's little about Oprah, buddy. All right, we'll see you later. All right, take care, man.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Okay, bye-bye, buddy.
Bye-bye. So,
bye-bye.
Let's see, though. Okay, it stopped. Okay.
Oh, it went good.
How would you rate the overall quality of this call, Skype's asking?
Fucking horrible. Is that one of the buttons?
I say excellent because it's Jimmy F. Dore.
Yeah,
so,
that was good.
Jimmy F. Dore. That sounds like one of those characters from The Hobbit.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy Effendor.
Effendor.
We're going to Rivendell.
Or no, Harry Potter. Dumbledore. Effendor.
The call quality was decent, by the way. He was on a phone.
Skype, we approve. Thank you very much for your wonderful technology.
I wanted to throw in there that he asked about what the solution is, and to me, it's gun responsibility because
what does that mean?
What's your definition of that?
The whole mental case thing is like that's too subjective. Anybody can be sane when they get the gun.
Right. You could have that's why I call it.
Then have an episode.
Yeah,
and
a psychotic break. You
right.
go from relatively normal to.
Well, just like they have PSAs for drunk driving, you got to have PSAs for how to carry a gun, how to keep it. Yeah, it would work.
Why not?
Even
Sure.
subconsciously, it would work.
Yeah.
If you show where to put the gun, how to secure it, then if you have more of those, then that would promote healthy responsibility with a gun.
They should just loop that scene from Full Metal Jacket over and over.
Where the guy blows his head open?
No, well, that too, but no, this is my rifle, this is my gun. And just
there's
like
there's none other like it. I wish I had the sound of Bill.
Yeah.
I don't remember how to plug that in.
It's like they make the difference. This is for fighting. This is for fun. You only use this to, when you're defend yourself, and use the other one responsibly.
So, Melody, any thoughts on guns and what's going on in Newtown? Did you have any opinions about it?
There's a few ex-cops that are working at the hotel and anyways where I work, and we sat down and I was asking them, okay, well, what are your guys' opinions about this? You guys being cops at one point, right, and always, running into this, blah, blah, blah. How do you guys feel? And the two things at bottom line they came down to, if they had any opinion, like, okay, how do we avoid this? How do we help the situation? And they said, one, if anyone owns a gun and they have it at home, you have to have it in a safe. Because if you have children or if you have, a kid at home who has some kind of mental disability, you don't know when they're going to go get a hold of this gun. They don't know. So first things first, they said, you have to have it in a safe.
Sorry, but doesn't that go against the whole home protection and a moment's notice sort of thing? I mean, we've talked about this on the show
if somebody
before.
busts into their house, see, I hear that, and that's what the law officially is. I was told by a friend who's a gun owner, said, "Oh, I got to have these things locked up if I was thinking the cops were going to come over." But then I'm like, well, what happens? Somebody busts into your house, you got to run. You wake up in the middle of the night, figure out what the combo is while you're asleep. And I mean, I'm not knocking what you're saying because it's what the cops are suggesting, but I'm just saying that I think that runs the risk of people not being able to access it when they need to.
To me, it sounds like cops are advocating for gun control because that is control. That is gun responsibility / control.
Right.
And what was the other point? You said there had 2 points, right?
Right. And the second one was, I don't remember now.
I totally agree.
Hey,
that's the solution.
If it springs back to mind.
It was gun control.
Your headphones are backwards.
But if you have a gun and you have a safe and you have it somewhere where you know how to get to it. I mean, it might not be as swift as in the movies, but someone breaks into the kitchen or the basement and you're upstairs, you can get your gun in time to go down and blow his head off.
Wait, I'm not Jason Statham? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Statham.
Yeah, I know. It's purpose. See, I
have
so much nuance, Carl. I mispronounce it on purpose. You get it? Okay.
I'm a fan of this guy.
Look, I have his abs and I have his gun skills. So that's all.
And I have his looks. So
I still got more hair than him. But
I like to say, ladies, anybody can have a 6-pack. I've got the case.
Yeah, I got a keg. I got a 24-pack.
I'm a full kegger.
Yeah, it's not a mini keg.
You're a full kegger, Carl.
Full joint. You could throw a frat party on.
We're not talking pony keg, folks.
Yeah,
all right, well, back to Montai Teo. This guy, okay, basically,
the I is silent, motherfucker.
He went to Notre Dame, had an amazing season, was Heisman Trophy runner-up, and as the NFL draft is approaching, they were thinking, man, this guy's going to be first-round pick. His life is set, and he had America crying along with him about this girl who's dying of cancer that he's in love with. And nobody ever thought, dude, why is a Notre Dame level, Heisman level football player having to fake a girlfriend or having to rely on falling in love with somebody on Facebook in the first place?
Two things.
I mean, shouldn't he be peeling off the co-eds at his school?
No, two things. Well, one, we could put in the gay element. I don't know
That
anything
is
about the
something
story,
I heard earlier
but-
today. Some people were speculating, was he gay and making this up to
It's
cover?
another cancer-related story, sounds like. So that seems to be a theme. The other thing is, and I don't mean to be some postmodern, like, why are we talking about this? It's not important. But, like, literally, why is this a news story? I don't get it. Like, what is the hook that connects it to, like, a national stage? Like, why? Just because he's a Heisman winner? Is that what's going to... Like, what is in this story?
Well,
Yeah.
truthfully, no, it is kind of just a human interest story, but the whole idea that the fake girlfriend had leukemia and she died 6 hours
She's
after.
not even a real person.
I know.
She died
She's
6 hours
fake.
after what
After his grandmother passed away. That was the whole connection.
I mean,
Well, that's nice. Bringing the grandmother into this.
Sports Illustrated did a story on. I mean, it was a huge deal that and the school got behind it. People gave money.
Oh,
So
when
do
there's
people
money
believe
involved.
that is he saying still that he didn't know, or
He
is
said
it
he
definite
wasn't part
that he
of
was
it.
part of it?
He's saying he wasn't part of the hoax.
Is there any way anybody believes that?
So
I mean, it's like a 3-year hoax.
is
that he
there
was,
a
yeah.
hoax? Like, I don't understand that.
Like 3
I
years,
haven't-
he didn't know. Like if it was a 14-year-old that was online trying to
It's
do
like
something.
we have harmful lying with Lance Armstrong, then harmless lying with this, but somehow it's not because people are swept up in this non-story. Like, it seems like the ultimate non-story to me. Maybe
Well, I'll
that's why
say
it's
this,
so big.
that Melody kindly wrote me on Thursday. 3 days later, I am meeting her in person, so I do not have to risk being nationally humiliated. That's all I got to say.
No, she's no hoax. She's
She's
here.
real, man.
She's real. She's here.
That's
definitely.
right.
I'm right here.
She's
Yeah.
right there, right
So-
across from us.
But what's really crazy, okay, I want to get her perspective on this one.
The woman's
weird
perspective.
part of the woman's perspective. Yeah, it's a special segment. I'll have music for it
Yeah.
next time.
Oh, yeah.
I can only imagine the theme song. I'm like thinking, da 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 da. Anyway, so the woman's perspective. But no, the woman that her picture was being passed around on the internet, and that it was supposed to be the girlfriend. They figure out who she is now, and she's some chick that, like, in California that had no idea this was happening. No idea. She was like an ex-classmate of a friend of the dude from 6 years ago, and I don't think she knew any of the people involved. And now she's in shock that her picture is being used to make America cry and donate money to I don't know what.
It proves that classmates.com still has a function, right? I mean, yeah, it goes beyond. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on here. I feel like I'm in, like Hunter S. Thompson, like Cuckoo Circus on drugs, because I don't understand any of this crazy stuff.
Well, how would
Woman's
you
perspective.
respond to that as a woman? If you found out, let's say I took your picture and I was like, hey, this is somebody who's, well, no, this is weird bad karma, but how would you react to that? I don't want to, like, speak into it.
Oh, I have a few different things.
Get there.
But
Or what should she do about it?
how about when there was one time in high school, I go to open a textbook. I think I must have been like my freshman year. Yeah, my freshman year. Oh. I go to open
The best.
The trauma.
I go to open a textbook and I find a paper of two people writing to each other back and forth, and they're talking about me.
No.
And they're like, yes, this girl Malady, I like her. Oh, you don't know who she is? I have a picture of her, but it's a really bad picture because it's like there's bushes in the way. Can you imagine how freaked out I was? I'm like, what? Stalkers? Ew.
In your
Little
yearbook?
boys.
The note was in your yearbook,
No,
or you
no,
found
no,
it in
a
the hall?
textbook. No, a textbook. I was like in science class.
It's like
or something.
shared textbooks. Or
Oh,
whatever.
shared-
Right,
Oh,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
go into classroom and then
Yeah.
everyone
Just
has
get
the
your
same textbook and you get it
Wow.
out. And so I guess they were,
Wow.
and I was so freaked out. And
Wow. And you didn't even know who the people were, or
no,
you didn't know who
no,
they were?
No,
But
Oh
I
man, that's
never-
sort of like 16 Candles when Molly Ringwald drops the sex quiz, and it's like, who would you do it with if you could do it with anyone? Jake Ryan, and then she drops it to her friend, and then Jake Ryan accidentally picks it up. That's that level of embarrassment.
Right. I'm like,
I haven't seen that flick.
You haven't seen 16 Candles?
I'll watch it. I'll watch it for
God,
you,
are you
Carl.
American?
Almost. Well, anti-American.
Cordell, do you
Yeah.
have any opinion on 16 Candles? Like the movie? You ever seen it?
If
Doesn't
you-
seem like it would be on top of your list either.
No,
What,
no,
it's
no,
not a
no.
black
Sure, man.
film?
No, it's a porn.
wrong
It's
with me?
porn, then it's porn.
Up there.
Then it's, no, I'm joking.
He's got a Molly
you
Ringwald
seen it?
sex tape.
I have seen it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good movie. Right?
It's a good movie. It's a
Does
classic.
it not remind you of that situation?
It
No.
does. I
Yes,
didn't
it
think
does.
about that till you mentioned it, but it does. Yeah.
So
yeah.
what happened then? How did you solve it?
well, I couldn't. I was just really freaked out and scared for a very long time because
Oh my God.
for 2 years in middle school, I did have this guy, his name was Clifford. Oh,
The big
if
red
you were
dog.
listening,
Is it a big red dog?
you
That's what he said first.
Well, if you're listening,
No, but if
fuck
he's-
off, Clifford. Stop bothering this poor
Mom's,
woman.
I know her mom's listening. This is really. I'm gonna hear about this later,
Oh
bro.
no, and I think like his sister knew, everyone in the school knew that he had a crush on me, and he followed me everywhere I went.
So he was like a dog.
Wow.
He was like a dog. Anywhere I went,
Oh, God.
he'd follow me, he'd stalk me, he'd make me feel so uncomfortable. And he would during lunchtime, he would try and sit close to my table. And then in 8th grade, when
You're
I
gonna
had
eat that?
I know. Are you done with that?
So you had pre-internet stalking, sort
Yeah.
of. I don't know how
Yeah.
old
Well,
you are,
pre-internet or sort of
Yeah.
It's
internet.
horrible.
Yeah,
And
sort of internet.
Yeah.
In 8th grade, when I had a boyfriend, then he wanted to be his, like, he became friends with him just to, like, hear about me or know about me more.
He's a creepy dude, and yeah, I would like to say I was one of those guys, but I didn't even have the balls to stalk. You know, it's like that would
Or
have
the
been,
ball.
or the ball. I didn't have the ball to bike over to a girl's place and try to hold up a stereo like John Cusack.
I know, yeah,
yet
really.
another teen film, but yeah, basically there's all this stuff going on. Yeah, I drew a nasty picture, like one of my classmates having sex or something in science class one
my
time,
gosh.
and the teacher he pulled it and took it, and I was like, oh my god, I was prepared for the worst, and he just filed it behind his desk or something. He's like, yeah, like you're cool. Like he downplayed. I think he thought
He
it was
said
too
you're
strong.
cool?
No, like,
Well, like, he's not gonna
instead
get
of
in
getting
trouble.
in trouble, I think it would have been too shocking,
like you're fine, you're
for like
fine.
6th
Okay.
grade. Like
Right.
I drew a naked girl or something.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
so I think he diffused the situation.
Well, taking it home
yeah.
and using it himself.
exactly.
Oh, he's quite an artist. Oh God. Oh, so
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like young chicks.
Yeah,
Yeah. He was the Woody Allen of my science class.
Well, here's the strange thing. We worked our way from this series of high school stalker stories. I was thinking, how do we get back to the news? But although that was very entertaining.
Oh, that's big in the news, high school stalking.
Exactly.
It is.
But here's a weird one. I can't believe I hadn't heard of this sooner, but it came out this week as we're preparing for President Obama's re-inauguration that there's a CNN correspondent. I don't know who this douchebag is, but basically his name is
I don't know who
Tom
he is.
Foreman. No, what I mean is I don't know which one he is on there because
I don't know.
you know
that.
it's
I don't
like
know that either.
because that's the boring channel where they actually talk about news most of the time instead of screaming left or right for like Fox and MSNBC.
Let's get your neutral opinion now.
Yeah, but this guy wrote Obama a letter every day for 4 years, and he actually, I guess, emailed him at the White House a letter, and every day it was like his advice to Obama or his like the president needs his advice, or saying good job or you could have done better, Mr. President, on that one. But mostly they came off like love letters, is what they're saying.
Oh, so he's a big supporter then.
Yeah, so here's part of his final letter to Obama. This is so amazing. Listen to that. Imagine this douchebag, like the poor president. It's like, I've come to be more respectful of the president in the last couple of years.
better.
So now I actually feel his pain. Imagine this. There's 1,460 love letters. They have an archive, the snarky column about this.
Secret Service got to be on this guy's
That's what
ass,
he says. So it
watching
says
him.
in the final letter of the first term, he actually admits the Secret Service might find his obsession with Obama to be disturbing. We've been at this quite a while, haven't we? Me writing letters to you each day, offering my heartfelt advice and wise counsel, or whatever I think might pass for that, and you steadfastly ignoring it. What a kidder you are. At least I think you're ignoring it. Perhaps you start every day with a shout down the hall. Biden, bring me the latest letter from Tom. But I doubt it. Truth be told, whether you've enjoyed it or not, I have. As they say in Maine, I took to it like a duck to water. I'm going to try to find a real quick jump ahead.
Who is this guy, by the way?
A CNN correspondent.
A CNN
And we say that the
correspondent.
media is not biased in favor of Obama. This guy's in love with him, man. And so he says, now, so get this. He goes, I've wondered many times, have you ever seen these letters or if you even know that they exist? Word of advice, if you haven't been following along, I would not try to catch up now. Way too much reading. I've also wondered if someone wrote to me this often, would I bother to read every letter? Probably not. In fact, if I were you, I likely would have sent the Secret Service to tell me knock it off. Ha! Look at this. Here the clock is fast running out. And I've wasted my last Friday letter talking about how I'm down on my last few letters. Oh well, I have too much work yet to be ready for your inauguration, so I better wrap it up. Like the president doesn't have more to do.
Oh, well.
With so the person who wrote this column says, was Foreman popping his gum and twirling his hair while writing this? I mean, that guy is probably fired by tomorrow.
I mean, it's
right?
like he sounds like he got punched in the head by George Foreman. Tom Foreman did. I mean, because he's a little nutty. I was gonna say they should bind all these letters together, put a cover on them,
Make it a book.
with Fabio.
Dear Mr. President.
Yeah, starring Fabio in a nice picture with the sunset. And yeah,
here's an unknown fact: they found those letters in the textbook, in the science book.
Melanie Gonzalez.
This guy's a
discovered
pro.
them.
This guy's a pro. You can tell he's bringing it back around.
Yeah, I'm just language.
Yeah,
That's why I paid him
just
the big
joking,
bucks to
Melanie.
be here, right?
Well, I mean, he obviously wasn't doing much work news gathering for CNN if he had this guy, if he had time to write all these letters. And of course, Obama read all of them, every word.
course.
A big follower, yeah. He's the next.
So he's not writing letters anymore? I mean, love letters?
Well, this guy said I think he's giving up after one term that he can't.
I can't do it anymore.
I can't do it anymore. There's only so much love I can give.
Got no juice left.
He probably had no wife, no girlfriend, no life.
Yep.
Just writing letters, baby.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't done a crazy crime story in a while, so did anybody have any opinions or comment about the letters though?
No,
Otherwise,
no,
or-
we're good.
I think we just commented on him.
Okay.
For a couple minutes.
Well, two things happened in crime news this week that I think is really funny. First of all, one guy got executed, and they asked him for his last words, and his last words were "kiss my ass."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. Let's do this.
To which I said on Facebook, at least he's consistent. So I give him points for that. Yeah, switch. So,
Kiss my ass.
Right.
but this,
I think his wallet said "bad motherfucker" on it.
Any last words?
Yep.
Kiss my ass.
switch.
Yeah. High voltage.
So he was probably the type of guy that drove a big Ford, lifted, and at the back he had like the balls hanging off.
Oh yeah.
Back of the
Truck nuts.
You
Truck nuts.
mean
Yeah.
the balls, like
Yeah.
the Lance Armstrong balls, or
No,
the
yeah, the Lance Armstrong truck nut.
yeah?
That's coming next.
I didn't even know there was such a thing. Your mother must be so proud.
Your mother's so proud.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here's, we have about 5 minutes, so I want to jump into this one.
Sure.
This is my other favorite one. This is awesome. You just got to hear this story. Well, folks, I'm about to get shot, says suspect in a Facebook goodbye. So this is pointing out the trend in which criminals around the country are having face-offs with police and then getting on Facebook telling their friends goodbye, or hey, turn on channel 12, I'm on,
Well,
So get this, a man suspected, this is the best crime spree ever, except for the rape. Not laughing at rape, but after that it gets funny.
I am.
A man suspected of abducting and sexually assaulting a Central Michigan University student posted a final goodbye a few hours later on his Facebook page, shortly before an officer fatally shot him. Well, folks, I'm about to get shot. Peace. Was 30-year-old Eric Ramsey's last post to his wall at 3:15 a.m. Thursday, said as Sheriff Leo Mioduszewski. Only I could get that one right. It says Ramsey had abducted the student from the campus, then drove her to a home. Okay, assaulted her. That's not funny.
Get to the
Here's
meat.
the funny part. After the attack, Ramsey put the woman back in the car, grabbed 2 cans of gasoline, and began driving again. And when he told the woman he's going to kill her, she jumped from the car and ran to a nearby residence, where she knocked on the door and yelled for help. A 14-year-old boy let her in. After hearing her story, he locked the woman, his younger sister, himself in the bathroom. Then, while she was calling the police, Ramsey poured gasoline on the house and set it afire before fleeing. And I saw other accounts that said the boy grabbed a giant hunting knife and waved it at the guy, and the guy ran. It scared the guy for the hunting knife.
This is Gordon Ramsay we're talking about?
No. Kitchen nightmares.
Hot in the kitchen.
Okay, so we're still going to get to the funny part. It's taking more gruesome.
Take
turn
less
than I
time.
thought. But it says shortly thereafter, the children's father returned home, doused the fire, so no one was harmed. But police soon caught up with Ramsey, who led them on a chase through 2 counties, during which he rammed a state police trooper's car, stole a sanitation truck, a garbage truck, and then rammed 2 more vehicles. So then he writes, "It's been real, bro. Wish I could have hung with you one last time. Love you, brother." Ramsey allegedly posted to a friend's Facebook page around 1 a.m. as the chase was continuing.
Doesn't sound real.
He's got skills better than Melody. She's been texting me while driving, and I'm like, how's she doing this? Apparently on the run from the law.
Okay, you can't put that on the radio. My mom's listening. She's going to kill me.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
Live
She's going
stuff.
to, blast texting me
Well,
right now.
there she
What?
goes.
What?
Yeah,
Well,
right.
yeah.
First time over here, last time
People
over
are
here.
quick on Facebook. Yes, I am about to get shot.
So then they
Update
said,
phenomenon.
a couple hours later, after hitting a deputy's car head on, Ramsey posted his final words, as the sheriff said. As the deputy ran up to his car after being head on, the deputy managed to hit head on. Deputy managed to get out, ran up to the truck, and blasted the guy to the face.
What?
And as he wrote, I'm about to get shot.
Why did the cop blow his head off?
Because he was on a crazy spree where he doused a house on fire and rammed cars.
But still, a cop's not supposed to assassinate people. But here's the thing: he was probably reaching in his pocket to get his smartphone instead. And the cop thought it was a gun.
My ass.
Yeah.
Send.
Yeah. Pro shit.
I love Cordell. It's like so often do white folks are always doing sort of jivey talk, trying to impersonate black people in the news. I've never heard a black guy do such an awesome impersonation of a white redneck. So round of applause.
Yes.
It's one of my skills.
His cell phone has "bad motherfucker" carved into the Apple logo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The redneck
Totally
Joe at the bottom of it.
I guess
that story doesn't sound real at all. That sounds like too movie-ish.
That's some mentality.
Ramming, house on fire, shooting, squirrels and
Corrupt
jumping.
cops.
stealing a garbage truck. It's like straight out of Lethal Weapon 4.
Yeah.
Did you guys see this video? I just saw it yesterday, so this reminded me of something more realistic than what you just read us. It's this guy. So it's on YouTube. You're watching this police chase, and so then someone's they're recording the TV, and as they're watching this chase, and the guy goes to his window, he pulls the blinds, and then
He's the one getting raided.
Right.
Yeah,
And
he's watching Cops live or whatever.
I don't know where.
Or the news.
This
That's
was
awesome.
in Inglewood. This was in Inglewood.
Oh, that's awesome. Figures.
Yeah, and so
I wouldn't expect it there.
Wait, so the guy was watching the news and then he
Right.
realizes it's my house?
it's like in
Yeah.
his neighborhood.
Oh, that's awesome.
He goes to look outside, and it's like the chase is right outside his house.
And this is on YouTube or you just heard about it?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
He's
No
watching
way.
them climb in his window
Oh, that's
as
awesome.
they're coming.
Oh, and
Arms
he's
are
filming?
coming through.
He doesn't
his window.
realize. Well, why is he filming
Right.
them then? They're
He's
coming in his
filming
window.
his because he's just he's enjoying some TV as they're raiding his house, and it's meta, Carl.
That's awesome.
what
I
it's
gotta
called.
look for
Yeah,
it. Sounds
I
like
heard
you
about
had a few of your special brownies.
Yeah, I heard about this. No, this is real. She just said it.
I know, but I'm
heard
saying
about
it
this
sounds
a
like
while
the dude was tuned out on some brownies and
yeah.
cops.
It's like they're not coming for me, man. I got my safe house.
Actually, I'm going to throw in one last one. We'll go the full 60 on this one because we're talking about length on this story. Did you guys hear about the Subway controversy that people are starting to say that Subway isn't really giving people footlongs? They're like, they're only giving 11 inches. And I'm like, that's what she said.
Yeah, I've been complaining about that too.
Yeah, women especially just complaining
lucky-
nationwide. Women are like, I know, I knew that.
I'm lucky if I could serve a 6-inch.
But it says that Subway's response, they're like, oh, the footlong's just a term. It's just a name. It's not intended to be a measure of length. But only in obese, fat-ass America, and I'm prime example, when somebody complained.
But you're
I
not.
actually went to Jimmy John's yesterday because I was like, oh, yeah, Subway, they're ripping me off of that extra inch of sandwich.
Well, that's why, they're doing a circumcision on every sandwich. But I mean,
Jordan.
go to Jersey Mike's, you get 3 different levels. You get the super huge level or the small
Oh, yeah,
one.
Jersey Mike's, yeah.
Is that a 12-inch?
In Jersey Mike's, they give you a 15-inch, man. The full John Holmes.
That's Mike. There's a reason. It's
the
Jersey
full John
Mike.
Holmes sandwich, man.
Jersey Holmes. But I mean, yeah. But you know what? I don't know. Jared got skinny, so fuck everybody.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, everybody got any shows to promote, or Cordell or Scott?
No, not currently. No, not right now. No.
You want to say "kiss my ass" one more time?
You can kiss my ass. Send.
Make my day.
Melody, any special appearances? Want to let stalkers know where you're going to be in the next week, or just pass it by?
No, they can all leave me alone. No, but I do have
Yes.
a nice, funny little
Oh, no.
quarterback joke.
Oh, really?
That my little sister sent me.
Oh,
and
little
she
sister.
said,
Please share.
She said, why do the football quarterback go to the bank?
Why?
To get his quarterback.
Oh,
Go. And they might even run the Nickelback offense and get even more money. Everyone can catch me sitting in my apartment playing video games and eating pop brownies. And the next week, all week long, I'll be there. No,
All right.
I got a show. Carl, you'll be on my show or something.
You better sometime. I
You
swear.
better. Yeah.
I know.
yeah,
It's like you keep
I swear
begging
to
your way
God.
into this show, and you do your show at the same time.
I don't
It's not
even.
gonna
I
happen.
beg my way into this show at
No,
the
but you're
expense of my
awesome.
show.
You're awesome.
Oh, thanks, Doug.
Yeah, all right, and I'm Carl Kozlowski, and I don't think I have anything going on this week. Although, if anybody out there in the comedy world can get me a good showcase in the next couple of weeks, I've got to audition for a major agent, and I have to get in somewhere good. Please help me out.
Wait, you talking like you need a set at the Comedy Store?
Yeah, basically something like that.
We
Fast,
were just
folks.
there, man. Get your way in there.
All right,
We were in
so ladies and gentlemen, until next week.
Carl's so hot right now.
Oh my God.
Wow.
What's
The
that mean?
snozberries taste
Or
like
maybe I
snozberries.
should ask. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, goodbye.
Goodbye, America.